Welcome to another Bible time. Today is Election Day in the United States. What an important day this is. What a great day this is to be studying the Bible. What a great day this is to be studying Nehemiah chapters 3 and 4. You remember the theme of Nehemiah is reconstruction of the walls of the city and the reformation of the hearts of the people. And we're looking at the reconstruction, the rebuilding of the wall of the city, the rebuilding of the gates of the city. And in chapter 2, verse 20, ended with the God of heaven will make us prosper. That was Nehemiah's words to the people. Hey, we do what God tells us to do. We restore, we reconstruct the walls of this city. God will prosper us. And chapters 3 and 4 provide the evidence of that. And as you look at chapter 3 and you see all the names and all the locations of the wall, you can see that if you have a map or you want to consider this, they start in the northeast corner of the city and they work counterclockwise around constructing all these gates if you want to follow the sequence there. And right off in chapter 3, verse 1, it talks about the sheep gate. Just to give you one example, the sheep gate up in the northeast corner near the temple, that would be the place, guess what? Where they brought the sheep in to make all the sacrifices. So, very practical name, that's the sheep gate. You go a little further down to verse 15 and you'll read about the pool of Shelah. We know it better as the pool of Siloam, built by Hezekiah with the money coming in, the water coming in through the Hezekiah's tunnel from the Gihon spring. And so those are just a couple of familiar markers, the things you might take note of as you read that. And then chapter 4 gives even more evidence of God prospering them, because their work is met by the people of the land by anger and by mockery. I mean, they're mocking their efforts. And so you see Nehemiah doing what Nehemiah does in chapter 4, verse 4. He prays and he says, "Hear, O our God, for we are despised. Turn back their taunt on their own heads and give them up to the plundering, to be plundered in the land where they are captives." And so he's trusting God. He's praying to God, and he's trusting God to take care of the opponents. I mean, they're doing God's work. These people, by opposing them, by mocking them, are mocking God. So Nehemiah is asking God to deal with them, and he's trusting God to deal with them. That's a good word for us today. We think the government might not be treating us fairly. Well, nobody's getting away with anything, and you can trust God with what's going on. And the key here that you see from chapter 3, you see that everybody is involved in working. Everybody's got their part of the wall. Everybody's participating. Everybody's fully involved. And in chapter 4, verse 6, it says, that the anger and the mocking that they were met with didn't stop the people, because, as it says there, they had a mind to work. Now, there's another great example for us to follow. I mean, as a pastor for so many years now, I can tell you one of the most common complaints I hear is, well, we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people. We can't do all the children's ministry that we'd want to because, well, we don't have enough people. We can't usher like we could, like we should, because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people to do this. We don't have enough people to do that. And, through the years it changes. And it's always, we don't have enough people. We got enough people. We just don't have enough people with a mind to work. That's the issue. This is a great example. And if we saw ourselves as in a war, like these people, they're going to be facing dangerous situations, then you'd have a mind to work. And we are in a war. We need to have a mind to work. And as I said, the anger and mocking didn't work, so now violence was threatened. That's the next step. And so, again, Nehemiah leads them in prayer. And it says, verse 9, "And we prayed to our God and set a guard as protection against the enemies day and night." So they pray, but they also take action. They don't just pray and see, well, let's see what God does. No, they take appropriate action. They take responsibility for themselves. And the people are getting discouraged now at this point, because the work is hard and the opposition's heavy. And Nehemiah encourages them. And listen to these words in verse 14. "And I looked and arose and said to the nobles and to the officials and to the rest of the people, do not be afraid of them." Those people, those opponents that are threatening us, do not be afraid of them. "Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes." What a great word of encouragement that is, to encourage the people to be willing to fight and to remember that the Lord, He is great and awesome. And He encouraged the people and with the power of God. And then verse 15 tells us that God frustrated the plans of the opponents. This is a great couple of chapters on the people of God working together, having a mind to work. Everybody's participating. They're all fulfilling their responsibilities. And when they face opposition, they go to the Lord in prayer, and the Lord provides what they need. And so it's very practical, very helpful, very encouraging, maybe a bit convicting too for some of us. But people continued the building of the wall, and they provided protection for themselves. And so some of the people were working, some were on guard, but they kept working at it, trusting the Lord, who is great and awesome. What a great word to end on election day. Remember, friends, our God is great and awesome. We can trust Him. Let's all work hard together. Let's have a mind to build up the church. Let's all be involved together to do that. And let's get rid of the we don't have enough people who are willing to serve mentality anymore. Let's all be encouraged by the fact that we have a great and awesome God. And we'll see you tomorrow, post-election, maybe, for more Bible time.